So welcome back. I read through 3 of those questions and they were all related to no money society. How can we build this no money society? And are there other planets, civilizations that are no money society based civilizations out there? And understood that this is something that we have already channeled. I don't know if I have shared this information in English, but let's just start sharing this. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to write in the chat if you wish, if you like. So we channeled a lot about this no money society like a year ago. And the information that was through was that the current economical system, well, this was from the Pleiadians, they said that the current economical system is like a rope stretching sports, like everybody is pulling towards himself, everybody is pulling the rope towards himself, and the all civilization, the all people that are participants in this rope pulling sport are not getting anywhere. In the sense, they all are just breaking down and falling down into the mud, depending on how you play this game. So what the Pleiadians were talking, that this society isn't getting nowhere with such an established idea. So just a few days ago I asked about this question also, and they repeated that it's not the money system that is the major problem or is the cause of the problem, but it's the ideology or the ideology that people are oriented towards themselves. They want to get something for themselves, and they share the comparison that, for example, if you are working for yourself, to benefit for yourself, to get for yourself only, that there is only one person that can help you, and it is only you. But if the society is built up to where you tend to look how you can help others, or what can you do for others, then somebody that can help you is everybody around, because everybody is around oriented to share, to help others, not to get from themselves, for themselves. Sorry, there's cars, so I need to watch. All the cars all over the place. So the idea of it is that people need to be, or humans need to be, a little bit more sharing, a little bit more, let's say, open. And the idea, how I see it myself about this, is that I think the only way is changing the thought forms, changing how we accept our life, changing who we are and what we are. For example, I remember one time Enrico channeled, and this video was not recorded, but the information was that they said, person asked, when will our civilization will become united, like as one? And they replied that, well, your society is really, really separated. It's separated from the idea of music. It's separated from the idea that we constantly have this idea that somebody is good and somebody bad. It's like an artificial ideas that we tell that human is bad and we are the good ones, and those are the good ones, we are the bad ones, and all around. This is like an artificial creation. Sorry, again, internet losses. So you don't separate each other, you don't separate from the good and from the bad ones. And then the Pleiadians were telling how can we, there was like, I don't know whether they were Pleiadians, or I call it John because he felt like a John, and he was talking that how we can merge to a no money society. There was a question about money society. It was, well, first of all, imagine you are a society, you're a group of people, and you came to agreement that you want to come together and let's say and grow tomatoes in a greenhouse, like greenhouse tomatoes or potatoes, doesn't matter. And you create informational, like a website, informational board where people that agreed to receive free potatoes or something, it doesn't matter what it is, they can come once a week, twice a week to this potato farm and do the works that are necessary. And then they have like an access to potatoes that they can take whenever they wish. So it's like a network of people that agreed on an informational system to which they follow, and they don't exchange with money. They exchange with, like, let's say you worked 5 hours. They have a different exchange mechanism. But the thing is, what also they said, and the difference is that, what is the difference? Is that, for example, you can use these informational technologies and use technology as a service, as an aid and service for humans. Meaning that when you have an informational structure like this, you don't actually need to count like taxes. You don't need to have a banking system established. You don't need so many slave work that are only working for the service of that system. Like thousands and thousands of people can just go away from their work if there is a no money system established. So imagine 1,000 and many thousands, like nearly 30% of the society, they can start doing other things to improve their life, to improve their nature, just because they don't do the services that are needed for maintaining of the money system. And for example, then you think again, what is the thing what the society needs? Well, definitely it's the food. Definitely it's some entertainments, like a tourism, like entertainment, socialization, and technology to aid and increase or reduce the working times. So basically, if you take this one and put it into, like, you say you need 20 or 30 people to work over a farm, but if you have one tractor that can work on a farm, it's much easier, it's much faster, it's much beneficial. So you need much less people to work on it. So 30 other people can do another work. And the main idea which I got from that John channeling was that when you establish such a system, sorry, I got the idea because there's a semi truck in the front pulling black clouds all over. So I don't remember that thing which I tell, but the important thing what he said is, you only need to introduce this system, introduce this idea to people, and it's already natural that many people will start paying attention to it. Maybe after years, maybe 2 years, maybe some after time, and they will start thinking, hey, there's something to this idea, there's something about this idea which I like. And if you have this, I remember, if you establish such a system, you don't need to actually change something in your life. You don't need to actually go and live to a countryside, go away from the cities or stuff like this. You don't need to do this. The overall informational structure can be already built in the already existing structure, like the existing money society structure, meaning that there is always, for example, another thing which I shared was, for example, a huge greenhouse that can be used to help many peoples. And because of the banking systems, the banks, if the greenhouse plantation organization cannot sustain the monthly payments for the loans or the credits or whatever they have, the bank just takes away their property and locks it down. But imagine if there's a no money society system in overall the village, a really poor village where the greenhouse exists and is taken over by a bank. In a no money system, that's a building that the society can use. That's a building that the society can use to serve the society. So you're not actually helping the society the banking systems are not even helping the society. The banking systems are like bothering the natural society way of living. All you need to do is, all the people need to do is just accept yourself through technology and use this technology to help. And talking about my perspective about this topic is that, for example, there are people that already fed up, angry about the society, the banking systems, the governmental tax departments and everything. They take away our free budgets, our free whatever we have. They just take it away and pay it for the like banking creditors or whatever. They just throw the money away. And the overall society is angry, and when the anger happens, people want to take from others more. People just want to take from others more and more. They are like a part of this aggressive system, and they, in a way, feed this aggressiveness, feeds the system. And what people can do, and is when, like let's say, a group of society starts to meditate, like people like you, me, and others that think the green way or think like no money society, they come together, they expand their market, they expand their society, and through which they make their own agreements that, hey, let's develop an informational structure in which we all agree to work in greenhouse, in potato house, in all those small things that can that in all those small things that can support and sustain us, let's say like a partial in our life. Let's say, for example, the food we eat, and shelter, for example. For the shelter, it could be that there are like, let's say 30, 50 people that agree to take a particular land where they want to live, buy out this land. Another 35, 50 people build the houses, another 10 to 20 people working farming, and they all start sharing these products, whatever they have, and they all start sharing. So food and shelter is basically the most important thing what people need, a community. So basically, if from the John what I understood, all we need to do is set up an informational exchange platform where like an environment as such is set up, environment as such is established, where people can just join and become a part of this agreement of, let's say, no money agreement. Let's say like no money agreement, a part of this. And talking about, is it in nature for the humans to take from others? I say it's in the nature of barbarian times. It was the nature of survival, taking from others, because we ourselves don't have plenty. We don't have any enough. Like, so basically, peoples used to eat peoples earlier in the barbarian times. People always was afraid that somebody will come and just kill him like a king. He was always afraid from somebody in more power to come and take him away. So basically, the main key of survival was killing each other or reducing the power of each other. And I think it's a way of, in our genetical system, that are still leftovers. But the new souls that come here on Earth, like the new generations that come here, they are more opened. They are more out of the idea of slavery. They are more out of the idea of taking from others. They are more in the idea of becoming friends. And this is what several times I've seen, and also we in Linda channeled, in the future society, like the Pleiadian society. Like the Pleiadian society, what they were talking about was that they have established already such a system, but it was a little bit advanced system. They had like these shelves, like these platforms of medical system. They had these platforms of educational systems. They have these platforms of self-sustaining systems, like industrial systems. I mean, like shelter, like households, shelters, like households, like where you live, you have this technical environment, like water and everything, like these. I will call it the technical environment, technical life-sustaining environments. And what they have like, they all have the idea, we are here to help each other. We are here to serve others. So what they have the idea is that, for example, the education system was really interesting. Educational system wasn't like, I will teach you to be like this and nothing else. The children had the opportunity to go into field trips, and they took all over the planets, all over the places where they can learn and see what scientists are doing, what nature people are doing, what medical people are doing, and so on. And they will find the place where they're suit. So basically it means that for several years they just go around other institutions, other places where they can seek whether this place is something that fits me. And they can do it for several years. They can be in one place, then another place, until they feel that, hey, this is the place where I want to be and spend my creativity in this field. So it's basically, what I understood from the educational purpose is basically an open way of just seeking and observing what you feel the best, what suits you, and what finds you in resonance. There's somebody writing in the chat, but there's a symbol, I do not understand them. So that was the one thing. So the informational no-money society then was set up into fields of medical, infrastructural, technical, and for example, they've also had a plan of space technology, science. So basically, science, medicine, technology, and the green stuff. You care about nature and planets, and they all work together as a mechanism. If somebody discovers something that can be used in medicine field, and they don't have medicine like we have here, that's basically, the medicine is the same as technology. They use it in technology, in medicine. If somebody discovers something that can be used for making the world better, greener, and informational and technical structures like our household needs or something like this, that they share the technology for them, because they see that this is something can be used in another institutional, another field of the society mechanism. So what they do is they invite and share the discovery to, for example, the medical perspective, medicine perspective, and they share that, and the scientists share and see how they see it could be a beneficial way. So in comparing with our world, with our society, if something discovers something, the first thing what he thinks is how I can earn with it. So one time I laughed, and Rico told a funny joke. He said, the difference between a scientist and a professional scientist. A scientist is something that he does for creativity. Like, I want to discover something and work on something. I just want to, explore and maybe discover something beneficial. A professional scientist is a scientist that, first of all, thinks that I want to receive funds or sponsors, and I want to research a thing that can be sponsored so that the scientists can earn money with it. And when he discovers something, then he thinks how I can earn more money with the thing I discovered. So this is a professional scientist. Got the point. So none of them, only the basic scientist, only he maybe is interested in serving the society, but none of these environments are to serve the society. Basically, everybody's thinking for themselves. But it's completely opposite in no-money society, in the Pleiadian society, how I saw it, and it was a much different society. So the idea is that everybody shares each other. So basically, if we establish, first of all, the food and shelter, then the most necessary next things what the society could establish are there people that want to explore their creativity in a medical perspective, let's say, or a biological perspective, or a technical perspective. What are the needs for that, and how can it be attained? So then they establish So the society, if it is growing, they establish the next field. They establish the next field of the system in their society, what is most necessary at that moment. And I think one of the necessary things is also agreements between other such environments, no money environments in other places of the world, to get a link, to cooperate with each other, to exchange with living environments, to make some kind of a things that they can sell outside to get money on the inside, so that they can flourish, like things that they need, like more land, maybe like solar panels, maybe like techniques, the things maybe that they need to become an independent society. And also in the future, I remembered, in our future, I remembered that the no money society, and this will be the end of the video, is a much closer than we think, because what I understood that in the next years there will be more and more digital currencies, meaning that banks will limit the the paper money. Banks will start limiting it, and the paper money will be taken away from the society to a complete dominance using banking transfers only. So there will be many people that cannot sustain in such an environment, because the money system is built to eventually destroy itself. As Enrico was telling one channel, or not the same, John was telling one channel, like it's like a ship with many holes inside, and it's slowly sinking. And what this system is doing, it's putting more and more sticker tapes so it can last a little bit longer. So there's many people trying to get the ship from not sink that fast. And when all of those people are just free and go outside, just be free, it can be, and it will be, a completely different society, because all those thousands of people, they can just start rebuilding the society, rebuilding the technology, rebuilding the things what we need, discovering more technology, because so many things are discovered and are banned away because nobody needs to make business out of it. It's like a controlling mechanism. So in the future, close future, so much money will be taken away from from us. The governments will take away, the banks will take away with procents. We will have less and less currency, like a paper money, to exchange, and therefore many people will just give up. And there was information that smart people will just give up, and they say, we cannot live in this system. We are just going away from the system. And people who are really good in business and overall, they will somehow manage to survive in the money system. But there will be lots and lots of talented people that will just go away, as I saw it, to warm countries like Africa and somewhere there, where they will start living in alternative villages, which have alternative systems established. So it will be a completely different society, and it will be like the society will split into parts: no money society and money society, and it will just start splitting and separating. So many people will leave the money system and go away to alternative system. As I saw it, as I see it, it's like 2-3 years from now, when the society will split up, will start splitting up. So that's when the no money systems will start working. That's when the no money alternative villages will start coming more and more popular, because there will be more and more people living there. So this is the overall information, basic overall information, what I can share about no money society systems, what we have channeled. And then I hope this was useful for you. There was some kind of question I will read. Somebody's telling you finally something about moneyless worlds like the 7C Constitution. I think it's like a link he wants to share, but anyway. So thank you for listening.